YouTube, hello, how's it going? Usually I don't do videos like this, but you guys wanted me to do one. Ever since I did the 343 Industries Halo Infinite development cycle video, I got sent this one. I saw the Act Man did react to it, but you guys wanted me to do it as well. And I heard it's a really good video. It is called Halo Fans Need to Move On Already, and I'm actually really excited to watch this. I've seen little bits and pieces on social media, but I haven't watched the whole thing. So let's not waste any time, let's get into the video.
Detected multiple Covenant dropships on approach.
Oh, the original ring.
Moving into those hills.
Video gamers across the country are anxiously awaiting the midnight release of a game called Halo 2.
45 minutes and counting for Halo 2 to go on sale.
Everyone here tonight will join Halo fans all over the world to meet the launch of Halo 3, the biggest day in entertainment history.
Halo 3's launch, I don't think people understand it, or maybe some people have actually forgotten. Halo 3's launch was culture defining. It literally was, say, the Fortnite of the early 2000s.
As it is right now, it needs a lot of work. Halo 4 is the worst Halo of all time.
So, Halo 4, when it came out, if you might not know, the Halo 4 battle rifle was a 5-shot kill, and the DMR just absolutely obliterated it. Weapons on maps for Halo 4 did not respawn, which is literally just what Halo is. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. When the game first came out and I saw those loadouts, the pocket shotgun, the bolt shot, literally they had to nerf the gun within the first week because it was so broken.
We had an entire franchise with established enemies and weapons and an established art style, and 343 just undid all of it.
Halo Infinite is...
It's funny, he's going through the Bungie era and he's going to 343, but he didn't cover the Master Chief Collection, and that was one of the biggest pieces of dog shit when it first came out.
dead. It is a shell of a game that it could have been.
For how long it's been, it's gone through the absolute best times a game can experience, but also the very worst that anyone could ever witness. To see something so high fall so terribly hard, you must realize there's going to be people that'll stick by what they loved until the very end. A game like Halo earned a person's loyalty through what can be some of life's simplest joys.
It's a very important thing, and maybe you guys have noticed this being Halo fans yourselves. As community members of Halo, we are very dedicated. I've gone to Call of Duty, I've gone to other gaming communities, and by far, Halo has one of the most loyal, die-hard bases, which has kept the franchise alive through all of these years where the games that have come out haven't been very good.
Look at that, look at that. Good job, Dad.
They carved
That's
out
sweet.
permanent memories with friends and family, allowed bonds to be made in places that weren't possible before. It told a historical story. And I'm not talking about the campaign. I'm talking about the Halo story, the impact it had on society and what it did for people. During its peak, I'd argue it's one of the best investments you could have made because of the value you could gain from it. What I see a lot of nowadays is the split communities consisting of either die-hard Halo fans or the newer ones that are all for moving on. And since the moving on to newer titles and content hasn't been going so well, I think it's fair to ask, why do lots of Halo fans hang on dearly to the past?
I'm going to quickly answer that. Halo fans hang on to what they grew up with because it was such high quality. It's nothing more simple than that. They had good times, the games themselves were masterpieces, trendsetters. They set the bar high. Feels like Halo from, say, Halo 4, Halo 5, MCC. MCC now is good, and then Infinite. They were playing catch up. They weren't setting the bar higher. It was always, here's the game, and now we have to get all these features back into the game because it's lacking, right? It doesn't matter if the whole core of the game is good. If it's missing features left and right, people are going to notice that. It's nothing more simpler that why do people sometimes like the old Bungie games? They have fond memories. The games themselves were fantastic, and for when they did come out, there was absolutely nothing like it.
Oh, you killed me, didn't you, Dan? You son of a bitch!
Shit, no, no, no.
For a lot of us, It felt like everyone was playing Halo. At the very least, everyone at least knew of it with how much of a name it was making for itself in the media and with their marketing. But facing facts is realizing most gamers nowadays haven't even touched Halo, or really know what it could possibly mean to someone like me. What is now mostly nostalgia that holds our most treasured memories in the franchise will most likely never be more than just that. That's something you can't really force onto the newer generation or get through to people's heads no matter how hard you try, because it's an emotional connection that you truly just have to be there for to share it with someone else.
That's a very good point, because the memories we have as Halo fans, which keep us around like die-hard people who have been around for decades, younger generations have that for, say, Fortnite or Apex Legends, the Battle Royales, like the Battle Royales that we hate. And I know Halo would do a pretty okay one, but then we worry it's going to lose all the other features we love so much. Those really strong emotional connections, they have that towards Fortnite. And that's why it's very hard to get them to jump across to a different franchise, because they really don't have no connection to it like we do.
But if it's something for the past, and for people that are just getting older and older, why do longtime fans have to keep talking about it and trying to bring back those glory days? Why can't we just let it be? My reason for being so vocal is because the franchise decided to keep going, and with that, I'd keep going.
Makes a good point.
You ain't killing me, shit. Fuck you. No name. Oh my god, he's doing that!
This is what Halo looks like to me. This is what it's supposed to be all about.
That's it, in a nutshell. I mean, just that Halo 2 clip you guys heard on screen just then, you can't do that on Infinite. There is no proximity voice chat. There are no social features. That's why I talk about it again and again and again, because it's the truth. We're getting the custom games back. Halo 5 and Infinite both have very good custom games. The social features actually in matchmaking, the post-game lobby, voting, veto, all of those things. All those small little things, that you put them all together, that's what creates a fantastic game.
People coming together, making some of the really bad days feel just a little less bad. Everyone has their stories with this franchise, what it's done for them, and the impact that has been left with them and leading them to videos like this. This is what I believe to be around the best times in gaming. But what does it matter anymore?
When the producers come over and pry our hands from the keyboard and say, okay, you can't touch it anymore, we've got to start manufacturing these discs, I think that's the point where we're going to have to stop, and that's going to be the end of it.
People are like, God damn, like it's so cool to fight the hunter, except then this grunt guy came over, and wouldn't it be cool like if he could jump up on the hunter's back and do this or that?
I love the passion the Bungie devs have, by the way.
When I look into the documentary footage involving the process of making Halo, it really kind of inspires me and makes me want to be a part of that team. It's a group of people having fun in what they do, and fully believing in delivering a satisfying experience for us on all ends.
Now, I'm not going to go full Bungie verse 343 here, because Microsoft has been around for the entire time, but game development in general has gotten a lot more corporate in the last 10 to 15 years. Even towards the end of Reach, going into Destiny for Bungie, and then you have all the Halo games that have come out since then. Culture in the world has changed. You guys might have seen that, I've seen that, and because major companies see the money that video games can bring in now, it wasn't as mainstream as it was, say, in 2001, but it did ramp up to that heading into 2007, 2010. Because of those big companies, those executives can see how much money they're going to make. Often there is too many differing opinions, often from people who don't even play said games.
How are they giving us a fully fledged campaign with 4-player co-op?
I blame you, Joe. So today,
A stack full
Bring
of
back co-op,
modes, a creative
please.
outlet to make whatever you want in
4-player.
Forge, a theater mode to store our most prized clips, and considerably one of the best gaming soundtracks of all time in one game in 2007.
Ugh.
What game even
Halo
brings all
music.
that on day one anymore? Looking at the environment of the original makers of Halo, and comparing it to the group nowadays, they just look like they're in two totally different worlds. Two totally different games with now two totally different fan bases.
That's a very important thing, and this chapter is literally called What It Matters. Halo has been changed so much over the last 20-25 years that there are so many different fans. Some people like classic, some people like modern. I've always said that if you're going to make a Halo going forward and it's going to be multiplayer, you have to cover all your bases. You got to have a classic experience. You need to have a modern experience. More than that though, during Halo Infinite's development, it said, and I remember reading this, that Halo Infinite at one point had like 3 or 4 different games being made at once, and then Joe Staten had to come in and kind of put it all together.
I am 343 Guilty Spark. I am the monitor of Installation 04.
This will save me from the storm, but you will be consumed.
Rest in peace, by the way.
The universe is full of cold, hard facts, and this is one of them.
Chief, we've got a problem.
I have come to kill you. My eyes!
Oh my! Where am I being taken?
The past does matter. In the years that Bungie was responsible for Halo, it left a mark on players.
All I'm going to say very quickly about the voice actors, and I specifically paused it on Rodriguez, I forget her first name. All of the old Bungie games seem to hire Hollywood actors. Very notable voices that I can remember from my childhood. Fast forward to the newer Halo games, I can barely recognize any of them. Food for thought.
Like a really big one. It brought us some of the biggest fans. It established foundations and brewed a successful formula. I will talk about the past highly because we failed somewhere along the way. At some point, Halo stopped being itself, and that gives reason to fans like me to voice our very vocal opinions. One example is the changing experience of our campaigns.
So what I'm going to say about this, and again, very quickly, was that Halo 3 to Halo 4, Halo 4 became very, very, very sci-fi. And I think in many ways, when it went to that really, really sci-fi, it almost like changed culture in a way. And it is the change between Bungie and 343. The tonal change, I think in many ways, actually drove some fans away.
I will never forget the times of staying up entire nights just to play through the Halo campaigns with friends. Forgetting about multiplayer for right now, the campaign experience was more than just a story. It was its own arena of fun, regardless of it being a linear experience. You'd usually have your buddies on the couch next to you or some online pals. This was a time when story modes, co-op, and the gameplay itself was all still being a high priority. But even though we get a story that is serious and is quite impactful to the player, it isn't afraid to sacrifice some of that to create a fun experience while you learn more about what's going on. Think about it. Let's compare a Halo 2 campaign to a Halo 4 campaign. These were 2 campaigns with a story that were generally pretty well accepted. So where do the differences between the 2 come in? How about these guys?
Sir, I know you saw me standing here.
Well, at least I can always shoot myself.
That's one thing that I was happy Halo Infinite did. I'm so glad Joe Staten actually fought to get Marines into that game, because before they didn't even follow you around. But 2, the Halo Infinite elites in the campaign and the grunts were very, very close to what Bungie did, like a modern retake on what Bungie did. And lo and behold, people actually resonated with them so much better.
Does this mean I have to stop making fun of you? I ran out of grenades and accidentally threw my lunch.
And I want to hear them say something absolutely absurd here and there.
Now roll over, I want to make this even. And seriously, better luck next time.
Now when we get in a campaign like Halo 4 where they're all kind of generic and have nothing unique about them.
Stand near the crates, but don't ever move them.
Right. Right. But if anybody even looks at the crates, that's a violation.
Oh yeah.
It's not just the NPCs, it's everything else, like an established art style, an established music theme. Halo Infinite definitely returned a lot of this closer to this form, but it's still far from getting that charm back. I just miss being able to do Halo things with buddies. I only ever feel inclined to play for the story, rather than to enjoy the campaign experience with a friend or two.
Now, as someone who has grinded all of the Halo campaigns, probably more than anyone else in the world, they're really right. The reason why I love the older games so much, especially Halo 3, is that the sandbox is so good, the physics are so amazing, that you can just goof off with friends for ages. Again, Halo Infinite got closer to that, because the open world you can goof off, but the physics weren't as good as Halo 3. Meaning those really cool experiences, those really random and wacky moments just weren't possible. Add in the fact that there was no campaign co-op for like a year since the game came out, that's also going to have an effect.
Yeah, I know. And then I eat it before, and then I put the clan and my mom had to take me to the doctor.
That's one thing MCC actually does well. There's voice proximity chat better than, say, Halo 3. You can talk to everyone at all times, anywhere on the map, as long as you have your voice chat set to open.
During such a pivotal time in all of gaming, there was a connection being developed. Gamers weren't just pressing buttons and completing objectives anymore. No matter how satisfying the gameplay was, no matter how compelling the art style was, no matter how iconic the weapons were, none of that would have ever gained the same fame without the social connections being made. Imagine no one talking, no one messaging, no theater mode, no split screen, no one raging, and especially no one laughing. Imagine it was only you playing.
And that sterile experience is everything I've said about 1,000,000 times. I mean, how many times have you guys heard me say about social features, really, over the last 4 years? And this video came out in 2021, by the way. So imagine if it was remade today, all the different stuff that could have got added between now and then.
Rarely any opportunities to meet anyone. The highest moments in the game with no one reacting to it. It suddenly becomes dull. And after a bit of time, it doesn't matter how well the game looks or plays. It will die so very quickly and never give reason for people to become so heavily attached to something that will eventually be of the past. But in those that experienced it, it will always continue to make an impact, continue to influence other creations, and in some way, always live on.
And that's why I got an ad. And that is why Halo MCC has a higher population now than Halo Infinite. Those really core experiences, that attachment to the older games, it's just a night and day difference. And that's why people are going back to the older Halo titles.
This is what I think gives the biggest reason for Halo fans to have such a distaste for a game like Halo Infinite. In reality, a lot of what we loved is there. We have the art style and music theme back, some iconic weapons and even their style back, some classic maps in rotation, and a campaign with a little more charm in the NPCs and a decent story. While some of those aspects have its flaws and may never be as good as the older Halos, it still at some point has received some sort of praise from fans. But yet, the game gets hated on. Newer and older fans are beefing and don't understand where each other is coming from. And as of right now, we still haven't fully answered on why fans cling to the past.
You know, I actually really like this video because it's not just a full-blown hate video, it's actually really well balanced, it's constructive, it shows why Halo was popular in the first place, how it's changed, it's really well done.
Remember Reach? Do you honestly remember the controversy behind this game?
Yes.
Sprint completely changing the flow of the game? Other new spark.
Very quickly, before he explains Reach, my take on it, and maybe some of you guys don't remember this, but it wasn't 343 that first changed the formula, it was Bungie. They added all of these armor abilities, they slowed down the game completely, very gimmicky, randomized weapon bloom so your gun didn't shoot where it was supposed to go. I mean, the list goes on. I don't love Halo Reach multiplayer. There are certain playlists I can play within the game that give me the experience I want, but it was the first Halo game where I actually didn't play as much, and I found myself going back to Halo 3 a lot.
Our abilities ruining the experience from what we had in the original trilogy, a more washed out look compared to Halo 3, the last Bungie game. Yet maybe Bungie wasn't making this the perfect send-off after all.
Nope.
There's much controversy. Honestly, I think it compares a lot to the way Infinite was received with its gameplay and mechanics. And maybe that's a little hard to see or understand, because at the end of the day, Reach is highly praised and cherished.
Look at that bloom.
Despite all those opposing opinions from the fans of Halo 3, the game is memorable and seen in a very good light. The biggest difference maker between Reach and Infinite in my eyes is that social interaction. Forgetting about the flaws of Halo Reach, the one part where it didn't make a mistake was that social experience.
Bingo. That is the one big difference. Halo Reach had social features. You had voting, you had fun custom games, which Infinite has, but again, you can't talk in game chat to someone who's on the other team in a custom game. That is bad.
That was still all upkept and crucial with instilling a good reflection when looking back at that game. Many memories were made and shared with the gaming world, and in the moment, you enjoyed yourself, and you knew if a moment was going to be one for the memory books. This may be different for you, but I look at Infinite.
Good lord!
Don't have many moments from it. Everything I've done has already faded away since first playing 2 years ago. It just felt like a game with a good story and decent gameplay. It felt like after watching the E3 trailers,
I need to find out how that warthog flew into the sky.
That there was a chance to make something iconic once again, and for people to have flooding memories in the years to come after launch. But in the fun moments I do get from Halo Infinite, it still feels empty. I don't feel close enough to the game to be compelled to play it in my free time. Reach, flaws and all, and me even having a disliking for the direction they went in from Halo 3, I still loved. And I think that to the people of the game and being given the opportunity to be highly social in such an experience. I think we really underrate the power of socializing in video games. I don't think many people will ever remember Infinite in the same way they remember Reach because of the social capabilities alone. Halo used to be made to be a fun game, just as I believe it is today, but then to make it truly fulfilling, they needed one core ingredient that fueled everything the game stood behind.
Social features, and again, to say even further than that, the skill-based matchmaking. Before, it wasn't so strict, and that's why Call of Duty and even Battlefield have gone back to the old system to make it more social, where you're not just matching this hyper-refined matchmaking system where you can tell within 2 minutes who's going to win and who's going to lose. You'll match a variety of people, good, bad, and average. Each game will feel different. You guys talk about the experience you have playing. That is one of the biggest things that has changed. Social features and the way you match players.
And that was the social presence. And I don't think that's lacking in just Halo. I think that's lacking in all of gaming. I think socialness is a lost art and hard to find nowadays in video games.
He's nailed it, guys. He's nailed it.
And Halo was known to be one of the best at it, focusing so much effort onto that social experience. I believe that's what made it so fun when paired with the gameplay, but also what made players like me, and most likely you, get back onto that game every single day that you could.
He's right.
So while Halo has many things to define its charm, I think the biggest void is that huge empty feeling, making an online game like Halo feel so lifeless.
And that's why I say Fortnite is so successful. There are so many ways to goof off in that game, and even recently Fortnite added proximity voice chat. So that's it. That is the end of the video. Guys, I mean, he's nailed it. Social features, the way you actually play the games, and what is available on said games is the main reason as to why Halo fans predominantly prefer the classic ones. We can't be playing catch-up, guys. It is the year 2025, almost 2026. Whatever game comes out next needs to be feature parity with, say, 2007 to 2010. No more playing catch-up for, say, a year after launch. It just cannot do that, because half the population, for a Halo Infinite's sake, it was 80% of the population, was gone by the time Season 2 and Season 3 rolled out. I'll link the original video. It is a great watch, as you guys can tell. Very well put together. It hits the nail on the head. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys later.